last time we saw OG jump in the server and a caliber this high, and now it's their chance to solidify where they stand. Of course, we're going to be jumping into Vitality and OG, the semifinal, the first of two today, and it's going to be presented to you by Sponge and Machine.
Let's get into it here. Team Vitality versus OG, a test in the semifinals for both to show a strong face for the grand final.
Or show a shong.
Yeah, that works too.
They could.
Shower.
Oh, there's going to be a shower of nades into B. Here we go. Alexi's got a quick one in mind. ZywOo ready to receive, and it is ZywOo after all. Let's see if he can track those bounding Danes. Valda, good for it. And now he's into the site. Masu's just trying to actively contest it. Yeah, the frags are coming in one by one. OG locking it down, looks set for success. Only shox and his USP, and it's not long for this. Wow, 3 straight out of the gates from Valda's Glock.
Beautiful stuff and a fast start, right? This is going to be showing us what type of Counter-Strike we might get here today, right? And this test I'm talking about, I think the desk are framing it here in Yanko said that he thinks Vitality would be a better team in the final against an RV, or even a Heroic, right, after last night's game. But either or, I think that both need to show us that they deserve that grand final, right? And I don't normally like throwing deserve around when I'm talking about a competition here, but we want to see mantuu looking rejuvenated.
Bingo.
We want to see if Kyojin and his Vitality roster are ready for a grand final.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect head-to-head in terms of, like, both teams have what it takes. You know, if everyone's in peak form, I believe they could put a great grand final performance in.
Sure.
But, you know, OG haven't convinced everyone yet. They've got to convince themselves as well. But you give me in-form flameZ, you give me him being set up on those CT sides, mantuu being a constant presence on the AWP, Valda good for 20 every day of the week. You've got an OG that can push this Vitality roster all the way and then some. Oops, whip flash. No one's happy with that, but they are coming into this B site again.
Oh, and Apex, a scout here. Needs to get some damage done.
It could go wrong. It really feels like it might be already. Masuuta's Deagle has found 2 heads, and the scout just shy of his short target. He's keeping him very busy here. That's something back in, but the Deagles have been humbled. Kyojin's still on the site. shox has arrived as well. Take your time, boys. You got 56 seconds. They don't have a single smoke, so as this one fades, Kyojin can wrap things up. That shot's not far off. 1v2 looking very realistic here. They'd love to get the bomb off the site, but it's just not realistic. flameZ kept here by a loud Kyojin. On the hunt, and chance onto Alexi. Looks like they've done enough damage. You'd have to hit some scorches.
Anything but the scout would have been nice there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Okay. Well, 2-0, and it gets scrappy, but I'm loving this. They're conditioning this B bomb site quite early, quite the early pressure from OG over towards B.
And do you know what that sets the scene for? The classic strat of go B, then go A.
Well, I think Alexi B might be considering that in a few rounds' time. We have 1 MAC-10 carried across, couple Galils, AK-47. Now this one will be the easier of the 2 to convert here for OG.
How dare you say that?
It feels like the more of these we see, they seem to be creeping up, right? The pistols without armor. We're getting more and more rounds like this.
I think it's because teams, like, there's so much relief involved in converting the second that you let your foot off the gas just 10%.
Slightly relaxed.
You're like, oh, there's no Kev. And then suddenly you've got 2 Deagle headshots in the feed.
Someone gets a little bit hungrier for that second kill than they probably should, and it all starts to fall apart. But this one here is OG really taking their time. So those chaotic B finishes have slowed right on down. We have 1:20 on the clock. Mid-util starting to come out now. Valda and mantuu in combination just to comb through mid, and that's a deep connector smoke confirmed by ZywOo.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Keeps him guessing about the window position. Apex is responsible for it. Nico's just now conceded A info, so no one's aware of that on Vitality, of course, but it does mean that OG are going to start their finish on B again, he says.
Yeah, this is just very noisy here from Alexi, so he might have other plans. That info will have been noted, and this tower over towards short, this is its chance. Not going to get many shots at this shox.
Yeah, and flameZ should be set up to catch him here. Molly looks good, and on the mantle, he's eliminated. That's all the frags they were waiting for. Oh, in quick succession, we get 4 flameZ with the 3 of them. And I think getting those confidence boosting frags into the star of the OG show early is a very good sign of things to come. Kyojin, though, he was on your list of, like, not win conditions, but, like, Vitality form conditions. You want to see Kyojin not at the bottom of the scoreboard?
Yeah, well, the thing is, you're not going to win against OG or Na'Vi or Heroic with 4, right? And I'm not saying that Kyojin is a complete non-issue. He's just the rookie in the server, right? flameZ is still young. Masuda, right? He's still being bedded in from last year. But Kyojin is probably the biggest unknown factor for Vitality. If he can deliver, right? If he can just get his 1 kill around, or when he's anchoring a bomb site, make sure that he slows things down, gets them a kill, delays, good info. That's what we're looking for him, because that's going to set the platform up for Masuta and ZywOo to be able to perform here. We know that shox and that of Apex, their performances, they can be great, but they're a bit spottier, right? So take a look at this first gun round. It's an A execute, and here he is, the man himself, about to be tested.
Yeah, he's throwing out a smoke to buy time, and it looks pretty effective initially. Another smoke thrown out by these CTs, but it's not really got them far. If anything, it's just taken them down. Nice gap for ZywOo. He catches some flak, though. He's got 6 HP, and you don't want to be losing that AWP. So receding now, repositioning through that window position. So still trying to be threatening. I think it kind of hinges on if shox finds anything initially, but already ZywOo's out of there, and so are Vitality.
Oh, here we go. Volder with a chance there to just deny Masuta, but quick on the draw. Masuta will slow down the hunt. But there it is. Kyojin tested immediately.
You had a Vitality member on your HLTV Confirmed podcast recently, Shoxy Jesus in the flesh.
Jesus, yeah, that's the man.
Was there anything that you learned in particular about Vitality through that interview?
Apparently they're going to win. That's one thing that he made clear. He said that every match they go into, the mentality is to win. Now, I know that might sound odd, right? But basically, the framing before was the level of expectation. Right? This is me having to paraphrase a little bit here. Was they were going in for whatever the matchup was, right? Maybe they were still testing the water with players, but now the team are on the same page of we're going in to win every single game that we play, right? So a bit more of a serious framing on that from shox here, but also Kyojin as an individual, he's a little bit older than Masuta, but it's the same process. Bringing this guy in, trying to catch him up, trying to see if they can get him to fill all those gaps. And a lot of the inspiration they are taking is to mold him into something similar as to what RPK was.
Right, exactly, and that's something that he's ready and willing to do. Let's have a look at this ZywOo play. He's been Molotov'd out, lovely placement of that. That's the reaction to the smoke underhanded. I'm sure OG will be operating under the info that there could be an overcommitted ZywOo here. It looks like Valda might be dispatched towards the underpass to corral. As I say that, he changes his plans for bomb retrieval.
Yeah, I think he's re-smoking window, Valda, and that's going to give enough time now for ZywOo to get in and get away. So everybody's still alive. Window will be re-smoked, and we have about 1:15 remaining on the clock here. shox and Kyojin start to have a little bit of a look over towards this A ramp, just confirming the information that nobody is pending.
The clip as well I saw on Twitter from the shox interview talking about how Masuta's got a bit more kind of confidence in his calls. His comms have become more developed, and I think that's a funny, coming of age example of Counter-Strike.
Well, they're coming their way over towards this A bomb site right now. Kyojin, we mentioned, he needs to get 1, and that's what we're looking for from this youngster. And an anchor position 1 and done, that will be good enough here because shox and ZywOo just around the corner.
Yeah, they could double peek here. Should be able to find 1 head. If it's flameZ, that's great. Takes down OG's star. shox tucked in, yet to frag. Flash from ZywOo to set him up. He does try to strike Valda. Doesn't seem to care about his screen being white. He still found the head, and now a man advantage. 20 seconds, Chad. A little sketchy. And if Masuta can destabilize, a little more than that was required, because now I fear the bomb plant's pretty much locked in. Alexi trying to get it down. He's been caught by Apex. Chaos now on the site. Valda's lost it as well in the round. It peters out into nothingness. ZywOo down, sure, but mantuu just won't get the fight in time, and so Tucking Tail has to survive. Apex does not close the gap in time, and he grabs the AWP in the last second.
Let's call that an in-game leader round, because we're going to have a bunch of them this game. Apex with some massive impact there, denying that bomb going down twice. Now, I call it an in-game leader round because when the chips are down, you're going to see similar heroic things out of Alexi, right? Taking these fights. It's in a round where maybe we'd be talking about, oh, maybe they should be saving, right? This is a round where Apex stands, delivers 2 big kills, and then runs through the open to get the AWP back for his star player, ZywOo. So Apex doing a lot right there, and Vitality, the French, they're on the board.
It's still not going to be gorgeous. Kyojin, a couple of sacrifices, nades light for Masuta as he's on the B defense. And they are letting ZywOo have a lot of freedom here in middle, courtesy of Apex's top mid hold.
They are giving it to him as well, right? Like, look how passive flameZ is. He has oversight here from mantuu, very deep in towards the TV room of the B apartments. Valda, the cheekiest of the lot right now, up towards that B smoke. You can see it's starting to fade just now, and the nade over the top of his head. So, oh, this is aggressive.
Very aggressive from ZywOo. Potential flash from Apex, but the frag just comes to him, and the retreat too. Perfect start into a slightly shaky CT second.
The next big fight could be Valda versus masuuta here, but they're still pressing the issue on... Well, no, they're not. The caster curse. Back towards B they go. So eyes on masuuta. Has shox shimmying on over to back him on up. But it looks like the hit is going to finish towards B right now for OG.
See how Vitality's read is. They re-smoke windows, so that's going to actually kind of maybe keep ZywOo's feet planted. Could isolate 4v2 on that B site. Here we go, game time. Utility implies bench. Tag play, it's shock with some damage, and that's perfect. Oh, the synergy's there, the damage is too, but only one down so far on this B defense. I was there to deal with it, but smoked off. They need shox now, and they find him. ZywOo perfectly hidden by the incendiary, wanting to play the denial here, and Valda doesn't check the no-scope to the head, and it falls apart again. OG. So many steps in the right direction. ZywOo's got his knife out. He's slashing for it.
That could be a
Nico
mistake.
could perhaps have set him up, but Kyojin's got the denial. Okay, a couple of very mad finishes for the OG Vitality head-to-head, but both of them go in the way of the French.
Yeah, I think that's key, though. The fact that only one player in each of these rounds has stayed alive, and both of the time, the player making sure they get that prized possession of the AWP for ZywOo, because he was huge in that round, right? The fact he gets the opening kill, stalls it out in the 4v5, and then... yeah, it looked like he was aiming for the head there as part of that no-scope, didn't it? So ZywOo getting cheeky with the knife in the smoke, but Kyojin, that's going to be an important round for him to win on out as well. I know it's a 1v1, I know times are against the T's of OG, but think about it for Kyojin's confidence and something to build, something to work with here, Vitality now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if OG go quicker here. I mean, they've just been... The clock has been their worst enemy twice. Again, they lose Alexi early. And oh, masuuta pushed up with the MP9. He gets more than he was worth. 2. Aggressive on the SMG, and now look at OG. They're fumbling, twiddling their thumbs, wondering how on earth you're supposed to overcome. shox is perfectly positioned, and he's going to throw the final blow. Just mantuu now, and not long for this world either.
Yeah, so just let's take stock right now, because OG going for that round and it looking a little bit more desperate. They're running through smokes. They're trying to capitalize on space. The reason that that buy was so hodgepodge in the first place is because of those 2 1v1s in a row, right? They're like, if we can just break them, if we can just get a single round here against Vitality, we're going to send them back into the depths of economic despair. But now, OG, they're the ones having to feel the brunt of that. And with roughly 2.5 across the board here, we should have to see an eco. Alexi B taking a timeout, going to confer with Rugger, the coach, just have a bit of a conversation about the plan going forward. Because out of the gates, we saw 2 quite quick rounds on towards B, the pistol round and the follow-up anti-eco round. From there, we saw them go into a bit more defaulty spread stuff. Then they went for an A execute, and they've passed that with flying colors, right? That's how we've seen them get up to their 4. The 2 rounds that they lost previously to the last one, they were close. So they can grind out in a similar fashion. You shouldn't see the game plan changing too much going forward for OG. It doesn't need to. They've invested here with a Deagle on Valda, a flash for Alexi, and a P250 for Nico. And, wow, they're just going to go teaming through middle here. Nico trying to take some space.
Yeah, a couple of pot shots from Apex, but they combine nicely. And nothing, absolutely nothing for OG.
Those are the ones that you want to keep clean, right? That's now allowing Vitality to establish even more of a bank. Everybody getting a couple of kills there to make themselves feel all that more confident with that crosshair placement. And now we will see, going into round number 9, the guns coming back out here. AKs for the lot of them. mantuu into his AWP. No util and no head armor for mantuu here, so keep your eyes on that. But what will the approach be? Will it be a bit more stalled out for this mid-control, or are they going to swarm early? flameZ and mantuu with more aggression, more pep in their step this time, and willing to have a look. Fumble the boost, but they'll get it up. masuuta and shox aggressive towards Valda's position now.
Yeah, you see this round can end in 2 ways, plays like this. We've seen that Valda player in the similar corner find those quick multi-kills, and it leads to a very early finish on B.
Oh, Valda's got company here.
He does. They're coming. Valda peeking out! No way! mantuu collateral damage. He's caught through his teammate, doesn't even get to fire off a bullet. That's magnificent from NiKo. Hard to control the spray on just the toes, but he's done it. And he's going to perhaps keep some CT's feet planted.
Do you think Alexi and flameZ go through this smoke over towards B right now? Because there is a bit of a timing, right? masuuta has actually gone all the way back. The smoke's starting to fade, so they will take the gamble. Pressing through that molly signifies now just how passive that B defense has become. shox is planted in window. Apex and ZywOo in tandem over towards this A site, so the pressure will be on masuuta now. Here they come.
Perfect flash. masuuta's vision's restored, and just as the boots hit the ground, down goes flameZ. More required. Only the two of them now, and you've got to find some jewels here. Alexi's the one to put the OG name back in the feed. Flank from short. NiKo's going to be responsible for that. We don't get that smoke down initially, but this is some decent util dumping. Perfect to fend them off. shox caught through the smoke. ZywOo's there as well. NiKo dropping his util. It's multiple pressure points, and that's the end of that. Vitality are looking very comfortable.
That was almost like great there, that Molotov from Alexi B, right? It forced him to the right-hand side of that, right into NiKo's line of sight, but that play up catwalk, not expecting Apex, and there you have it. Great stuff now. Vitality take the lead in this one. And the fact that Valdez started to peer around the corner was actually mantuu's undoing, right? Because mantuu's coming in, he's taking, I got my AWP, you know, I'm a little bit slower. Valdez, yeah, let me just make sure it's clear, mate, should be fine. Next minute, 2 guys dead. So the fact that they get this far, that they get the bomb down, this is a decent attempt for OG, all things considered. So if we change the framing a little bit, we can really understand why they've gone for this half purchase, the plant, the max loss bonus in play, and now it's just looking like they're going in towards this all-in A.
Kyojin gets the info.
He's in trouble, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be run down, and he is. Tech9's bounding into the site here. The Palace position does connect, and that's going to put default down. Apex gone, so ZywOo's got a call for assistance. The rotate's on its way. ZywOo's AWP is truly announced on that CT position. They're taking space. If they could try and find stairs, which they have, they've got to just avoid this AWP. Don't give him anything. Don't give him a thing. They tag him through the box. 8 HP. This is OG's response. He's cowering in fear. shox with his secondary AWP to try and bail out the recovery. And he might even have a look at this, you know.
He's got a full belt of utility here. Smoke for the bomb would be nice.
Kit. Oh, lordy. Oh, no. OG cannot stomach a loss.
Oh, that's a bit deep, I think, Alex.
You're right. He's going to have his bum sticking out, but exposed on the jiggle. Careful now, NiKo. You better not go down. It's going to get awkward. Very awkward. A fake plant. Alexi reveals himself and saves them just in the nick of time. God damn. shox makes something out of nothing there.
Great attempt, isn't it?
Like, I'm almost convinced, and I will say with conviction, that those first couple of AWP shots were just trying to get ZywOo out there.
Yeah, see if they can bail the teammate out, hold on to the double AWP for the save here. But this is great from shox. Good to see the double AWP actually reaping some rewards here, even though it wasn't the round conversion. Takes a lot away. Does not allow OG to go into the next round with just free upgraded goodies. So I don't want to call it the best of a bad situation. It was just a partial buy there coming out of OG, but Vitality now level 5-5, and another timeout here for the international squad. I think that one went better than expected, so just going to discuss the next plans that Alexi B has in store. There's still plenty of cash, right? You've got ZywOo back into the AWP. Should be enough money for the likes of masuuta and shox as well. So no dramas as far as the buy department goes. I think the Apex coming into this round had something like 9K, and he's got 3K at the left of it. Now, if OG can get this one on the board, and we don't see any saves, Vitality are going to be in hot water going down the tail end here of this first half. Window smoke out. And window smoke in.
Will they shake it all about? Let's find out.
Well, they've got that mid control, so they're definitely shaking Vitality a little bit, right? And they've had to go for an aggressive maneuver now, trying to park Kyojin as a blunt object up towards Palace. He's going to continue to push as this mid control is being worked on. Up through connector they crawl, and this is early. It might be a pouncy play onto A.
Yeah, interesting to see if Kyojin continues to push the issue. Palace, ZywOo's got a lot to contend with here.
It's a good angle.
Set for success on the walkout, just ahead of the flash. Now ZywOo drops the smoke to reposition. Evades the molly that would have made things awkward, so perfect play so far from the Frenchman. shox as well, puts the bomb down loose. NiKo would have to find it, and he has. Takes down Apex, play on. Kyojin, the round-the-world maneuver is about to pay dividends, though. NiKo just not considering it. He was so early on this flank, and it will fall to mantuu. Kyojin deals with the first, and that's the end of that. Nice work from Vitality. So far from ideal for OG. Oof. They come and they go. One round intermittently sprinkled in with all of that CT goodness. And I mean, OG, they did get off to a flying start. 4 of the 5 you currently see on the board here at round 12 were the first 4.
Yeah, it has been a very good start. I just want to get maybe, not cause for concern, but maybe just early notes, right, if we were making right now about mantuu and not being able to find a lot of impact here. Now, I know that we've only had 11 rounds played, but he only has 1 kill. And Frankie just asked him in the interview, you know, your performance just the other day, it wasn't what we saw in the group stage. You know, what do you think? And he said, well, there was so much time between the group stage and now, right? Maybe just a slow start. Because on Dust 2, the 3rd map, he was himself again, right? Yeah. He didn't have superstar numbers, but he was doing his job, he was contributing. So here, only 1 kill to his name so far. We'll keep an eye on that. He's sticking out like a sore thumb as far as the server goes right now. And, you know, I'm not trying to turn the screws on him here. It's just everybody else is pretty even in the fragging department. Yeah, and I mean, I don't think it's wrong to highlight when you consider how much of an impact he has when he is on his A game. Yeah,
I mean, like he looks like the star of OG, truly. Like he can dwarf flameZ's presence in the server when mantuu's on form.
There's another half buy. Well, they had success with this. Let's see if they can grab another one here, OG. Nice deep nade. Bit of damage done to Alexi there, and well, he loves the play and connect up.
Okay. How do they handle this? So they're just charging through off a flash. ZywOo and Kyojin have got a lovely little crossfire here. Sandwich and CT. Multiple targets, and they've overwhelmed the first. Chad, this could get nasty for Vitality.
We've seen this before.
We have. And that's the change-up. Nico's AK is a necessary evil. He needs more. mantuu's Deeg for his 2nd in the server. And now ZywOo going hunting. Of course he finds him. Nico in that smoke. Another Alexi straight through the smoke. Caught by the woo. mantuu. The flash. That's brilliant from mantuu. Game on now. We asked for something, and he does deliver. The smoke now deployed. ZywOo's playing nasty little games here. That swings out, but mantuu pulls OG in. That is exactly what they needed from mantuu. Say his name, and he arrives from 1 to 4. 3 crucial kills and puts OG 6th to keep him level.
Well, that's the impact we're talking about here, right? He doesn't have the AWP. It's not like he's just finding opening kills here, but this one is worth a lot. ZywOo, that 2nd was beautiful. It makes it so interesting here. The turn of the flash. They're trying to do everything to deal with mantuu's position and able to convert here under pressure.
And yet, that turn of the flash, just the extra detail, because you know, as a player yourself, and as those of you watching, when you're hearing shox make noise, pull the pin on a smoke, and throw a smoke, you're focused on that. You're focused on that engagement. The pop flash from ZywOo was there to be catching him off, staring at that shox push.
It was really good stuff.
Really nice. Really cool, man. And look what it's left them with.
Well, this is where they can really break Vitality, right? We are at the tail end of this half right now, and they are throwing everything together because their loss bonus is sitting at 1,900. That means in the last round that they just lost, there's only 1,400 coming into this. So the pennies they had left over, plus that loss bonus to get ZywOo the AWP, 2 MP9s, a Famas, and a Deagle. All the eggs right now for Vitality in this basket here. They can't go down without a fight. Oh, and aren't OG cruel? They just immediately go back to something a little bit slower without that direction, right? The last couple, those forced by rounds, it was very direct. Oof, cheeky run boost.
Yeah, and ZywOo's been looking like a threat through these smokes, and just as it fades, mantuu booked. Needed that, Valda. That was an opportunity to immediately just nullify the loss of mantuu, and instead, ZywOo will catch another. First mid, now B. His presence is everywhere. Nico can change things. And he won't. Needed the double on the aggress. Now Apex not only gets the frag, but an upgrade. And they are trying to slip through that smoke. No info for ZywOo. shox, however, a lovely position. And nearly finishes the job right there and then. Poor flameZ, 10 HP. Don't fancy his chances here.
Okay, well, they hold on. A big one there from Vitality. That ult from ZywOo in the head-to-head against mantuu, and then it all starts to fall apart, right? Because Volda, it feels desperate. He now has to go for a play, right? They're down to man. I've got some space. I'll go for a kill. This one here, just after the mantuu clutch as well. So ZywOo's saying, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to get you right back.
And he's just sitting in the open. It's not like a little corner of the window, just right there in the middle of it all.
Well, back to where OG do their best work, apparently, here on this T side. The lighter buy, the Tech-9s, the Deagle, the utility behind it. The gun round's not really going in their favor just yet. So over towards B they go again. shox and masuta in touching distance to defend this one. Zai will be the swingman here through the window, and here they come.
Yep, there's the extinguish. Nade is good. Masuta's down though, so it's all onto shox. And Zai will, of course, has managed to rotate in, finding impact. They know he's kitchen side, and Nico just jumps, feeds the beast. mantuu looking for more impact, and already best one. A chance onto Apex. Started to believe a little there. Vitality have won out their defensive half. It's just a question of how much.
Okay, well, this has definitely had some high-intensity moments to it. I just love the fact that Vitality are like immediately ready to respond, right? There's so many like Apex was already jumping out the window. Zawi gets this kill, moves. Apex is jumping through the window. Apex, how do you think he got here, right? Like Apex is storming into the site. They're not getting this bomb down, boys. This is all happening. We still have 1:22 left on the clock, so very quick stuff. But here we go. Final rounds here of the first half, and fast mid control from flameZ. He's been good on these entries.
Yeah, look at his flight path. He is not slowing down for anyone. The smoke on connector's still up. He can still work his magic. He's been smoked off actually by the BCTs, and they've gone walkabouts. This is a very common trend we're seeing in Vitality setups.
Oh, Kyojin should be on high alert right now. He knows something has to be coming his direction anytime.
Directly above him, and he has been found. That's a great gap for OG. Can they convert upon it? Apex tucked in. Very telegraphed flashes, but now it's time for that plant. Smoke down, Valda responsible. There could be a denial from Apex. That's the only one in a position to do so, and he has found one. Nico caught on ramp side. shox's flank has got them dead to right. Oh no! Two backs turn. The reaction slow. Valda collapses, and now down to just two. Alexi and flameZ to defend that ticking bomb.
They have smokes for this. They have utility for this.
It's not going to be easy at all. You surely want to get shox on the defuse side with the bodyguard, and hard shots to hit, dumping all their util now. Looking for any elevated angle, caught out one-on-one. Let's see how this goes. Alexi up against shoxy. And he falls straight for the bluff. shox, too smart, fakes it out. And 4 kills from Vitality's legendary name. That is 9. And a solid defense, a solid start in this battle for our semi-final. Do stay tuned, and we'll be right on back with your second half. I mean, Vitality definitely head and shoulders above OG on their defensive half. A good couple of rounds berth. It's 9-6 as we get into our semi-final. I've got Chad Birchall with me to give you all the ins and outs of this beautiful game that we call Counter-Strike. We saw just how much of a heartbreaking round you can have in this video game. I mean, there is so much more than just the pixels involved and on the line. And so let's get into it. It is the second half. OG have come to play. It looks like we have got ourselves a full potential for a full 3-map series.
This might be pretty quick onto A right now, and it is just flameZ here over towards Ticket. Zywoo has some util lined up. That's going to be a connector smoke coming out of his hands. The 1x bet odds are favoring the French right now.
It's a 4-man stack outside of A, so flameZ is going to be really, really struggling and hard done by to find impact early. He's just posted up looking for Palace, and then the smoke kit retake setup from Alexi.
Okay, well, they've got jungle control right now, so this is going to make the retake difficult for OG. Do they want to fight? Yes, they do.
Yeah, maybe. mantuu can find the first. There it is. Kyojin eliminated. And the bomb now ticking, but those taps are coming in. These silencers just picking away at the bones and multiple targets. Masuta's done very well to find 2 on the Glock. They need shox. Oh! good God, he's done so much. He's set Apex up for success. The kit is the only thing that favors Alexi here, and he knows where he is. Hard fight, very hard fight. Apex is playing with him, just holding W. What's going on in the Vitality camp? It's like they watched yesterday's game and decided they're only going to take fights.
They just elephant-footed that entire thing. Like, Alexi B knew exactly where he was at every moment of that, and Apex just still absolutely destroys him. But check this out from shox.
Yeah, man.
How does he get two here?
Say the same for Masuta's pair.
That's true. Masuta's one as well. Like, it just became a full cluster in that window room. This Apex just, yep, you know I'm Palace. I'm running a ramp. Hello, come fight me.
Here I come.
It's just repositioning to a better angle, I suppose. So that's 10 for Vitality, and they are looking like they are steaming through this one now. U2 out, and it is just these USPs for OG. They'll be getting the rifles out in the next round of play here.
Oh, they're just going to run them down, bro. There's so much, like, fire in the bellies here of Vitality. Just quick. A lot of faith in their team and their smokes. And, of course, this is just the anti-eco hunt, so we're going to be seeing him run around with his MAC-10, looking to pocket some extra cash.
I feel like Vitality must have been pretty happy with the veto, all things considered. Right, last time these two played, Mirage was the map that Vitality picked up. It was Dust 2, the opener, I think, that OG picked, and well, they won that in overtime. So it's just a bit of a curious choice here to go to Mirage, but at the same time, we know there's no Vertigo, we know there's no Ancient. Nuke's been a bit of a sore spot for OG in some of their matches, so yeah, the map pool starts to get very small very quickly. Dust 2 always seems a bit like a coin toss, and we're just getting Apex here. Attempting to do some farming, but he's done a lot of damage, hasn't he? He's done a fair bit of damage.
Yeah, I think those long-range MAC-10 sprays did about 180 damage, but no kill.
Yeah, well, it'll show up if he hits the little bit at the top of the scoreboard in his ADR tab, but otherwise, we won't be talking about it. Don't you guys worry about that.
Well, I know it looks scary now. If you just tuned in, you just put your OG jersey on and the kettle on. But now we're about to see a conversation.
OG have gone for 4 sets of head armor here, right? So that's a nade or two that they could have invested in.
Yeah,
they know that the MAC-10s are still in play.
It's perfect, considering. They've even rebought a second MAC-10, so they want to do something with a bit of pace here, and Nico could really destabilize here. It should favor him. Lord almighty, it's a bit messy. Hasn't finished onto Kyojin either. That would have been round winning. Now they've lost the B site. Valda's dead immediately upon arrival as well to try and contest. They're pushing his kitchen position. Alexi trying to knock the bomb plant down, but he's not ready for behind. Neither was Nico. Good trade. That is crucial, because now the bomb's loose and flameZ has just slowed it down in favor of the CT side.
Oof, they're both below half HP here, and mantuu's gone around the world on the flank. Oh! And Alexi's just ripped off Masuta's head right now, so we'll call that one done. A huge play from Alexi, gets into the site, denies the plan, and cleans up the mess of the final 2. But you love the reaction of Vitality, because as soon as Nico is spotted top mid, they just rush B, because the B defense traditionally is Valda and Nico. When one of the guys is stranded all the way up top mid in a fight that he's struggling to finish, yeah, do your very best. Get that kill into Valda, and ideally get the bomb down. So unable to convert that extra cash here, Vitality. And that's another in-game leader round. So Alexi B stepping up. 2 of those, yeah, already just coming straight from Alexi's gun. Okay. Again in the MAC-10. Yeah, and this one right here, look, they're going for a similar approach. Oh, it's the same strat.
Yeah, but Nico needs to be careful.
Oh, he's clearing.
And he's lost the duel to a MAC-10, no less. A free upgrade given. Alexi's gone as well. Valda, if ever there was a time for a hero moment, to bail OG out of the hot water they've just been thrust into. It would be here. He's been spotted out, though. Multiple bullets. One supportive flash does not get him set up. Oh, and it's just a matter of time, really. mantuu, so many targets, so little time. It's Kyojin's 3rd on the Galil. And poor old flameZ, no real way to find impact.
No, and it is just going to have to be him trying to save onto this. And the loss bonus of the 1900, right? So one of the issues that OG are having here is, sure, they did win that round, but they're not going to have enough money to go for a full buy. So it's going to be curious to see what they opt to do here. Like, flameZ could drop a rifle if they want to try and stay competitive. As I don't want to call these forced buy wars. I know that Vitality just did. I know OG bought early, but I feel we're already past that. So it just feels to me like OG might have to stomach a 13th round.
And you're feeling like a badass if you're shox, aren't you? Like, you've just deliberately, you've had cash for an AK, bought a MAC-10, and then beaten out an aggressive M4 with that aforementioned SMG. I mean, you're doing it from the bargain bucket.
He's making Valve happy, isn't he?
Yeah,
showing just how versatile all the weapon choices can be in the game of Counter-Strike, everybody. Everything has its place. 17 kills for shox, right? This is one of the things, when you make it to the grand final, shox and Apex, that's when their experience is going to be worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
And if they're able to show up, right, even in a shadow of their former selves, they don't need to be the legendary versions of themselves. They just need to be the version of themselves that can contribute to set up the ZywOo and Masuda wombo combo. It's great to have them playing like this from shox. This is great. But we don't need it all the time. Now, 12-7 OG with this one saved M4. How far can flameZ push this?
Oh, magnificent from Apex. He's controlled the spray, long range, stops the Alexi USP taps. And it should just fall into place now. You can see this is just like pulling the last 3 remaining molars out of the OG mouth. One by one. It's painful, but you were expecting it.
You know what is a bit of a drama here as well is the one saved M4, they sent over to the B bomb site. Now flameZ, he's an A player. Right? Vitality just called the bluff that they were going to send that M4 somewhere else, right? They just walked into A. So flameZ not there. Not there in the side that he traditionally defends. So they've been able to get this AK in the hands now, and that's going to give them at least 2 rifles to carry through. So things are looking better. flameZ could even drop an AWP over to mantuu in the next round, assuming they stay alive, and it is looking very likely right now. The bomb over halfway tick, not too much longer now. But 13-7, the score's about to read. And OG, they're not going to have too much room to have foot faults going forward.
Would you be satisfied with the summary that OG have been losing the Angel battle to the like? Is it a question of individual capacity in this Mirage game?
In the first half, I think they were giving up a few opening picks, it felt like, which made the gun rounds a little bit harder. And they also didn't have too many plants. I'm just looking back here. After the first 4 that they won, they only managed to get the bomb down in 2 more occasions.
So finance is definitely playing a part in
big
that.
issue in them getting out the weaponry that they needed.
Well, this is it, dude. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. You got all your rifles, even an extra AK on your flames.
Yeah, this has to be it. We need to see some resistance from OG. Remember, this is their map choice. We do have Nuke coming up next, and the French are looking good.
Yeah, shox is definitely rolling back the years a little bit here. Looking fierce, and he's even got the info, and he's not slowing down. The team flash is perfect to set him up. And he's in. Dug in. Baited in, perhaps even. But the bodies are dropping nicely on the A site. The bomb was on its way towards it. So shox's little lurk, unfortunately, will have to do a whole lot more than that. Valda was ready for him. Good catch. Well, this is the turnaround we were hoping to see. Yojin has already spotted out Alexi, and he's looking a little intimidating here. Uses the sound to mask the drop-off. No longer a factor, but that's the end of that. And credit to be given, mantuu's AWP as well in the feed twice.
Okay, this is where it gets difficult. For OG and this comeback story, that round is great, right? It shows that they can withstand a fake, they're able to hit their shots in some heads-up CS, but now they need to withstand another gun round. What is Vitality going to throw their way this time round? That fake going on over towards B, no dramas, nobody on A really moved, they just got the kills that they needed to here, and mantuu starting to find a little bit of impact here. Vitality, they've got plenty of money. They've got the AWP back out. The AKs are looking good. Their buy is perfect for this round of play here.
Lots of early mid-control through that util.
Looking like an A split here. And mantuu's not in position to defend this.
Yeah, he's going to be smoked off from short side if he sticks around. Trying to get Masuda and shox through that connector smoke, and they are in a position to strike now. What's the go sign? Coming up now, here it comes, just slipping through the jungle. Great shot out of flameZ. Punishes shox's swing. Need another from him, and the crosshair placement perfect. 3-on-3, and loads of time. No rush for them here. If anything, getting back into the site's going to be a bit of a tall order. Util plentiful. Nico trying to deny the plant. His crosshair was perfect, yeah. But ZywOo's got it down. And now starting to tip the scales in favor of Vitality. A chance for Apex, and he will seize it. Both coming in from CT. And it's as easy as that. 1 by 1. mantuu's AWP, the last to stand. If the smoke is good, it could have been a threat. It wasn't quite on the mark, wasn't quite on the money, but 14 for Vitality, and they are flush with cash.
And everybody for Vitality is playing well. Let's just go through the scores on the doors right now. 18 for shox, 17 for Apex. That's the 2 old boys, the 2 veterans of the squad at the top of the scoreboard. Then you have 16 apiece for ZywOo and Kyojin was one of the factors we needed to see contribute. He rounds them out. He has 15 kills, but 7 assists to his name. So things are going great now for Vitality here. Really starting to have to scratch their head a bit like Nico over there in the OG camp. They've gone all in. They bought 3 rifles, but this is it.
Oh, he's so baited in. Oh, it's perfect. It really is. ZywOo has been caught. A nice boost on the tri-box leading to that. And Nico should have the bomb down here. Some aggressions paying off. Oh, Nico needed both. He really did. It shut down the entire round. Vitality left with nothing. Whew, that changes things.
Yeah, that got very scrappy there for a moment. You think after Valde gets flashed and peaked that that's probably the round done, right? And everybody else is just going to fall single file into line. ZywOo's AWP shot through the box. It's kept them low. How is shox going to be able to work here in this 1-on-4 situation? Still has a smoke and a Molotov to work with. The bomb deep within connector here, so getting that is priority. Spotted now, Molly to hold Nico at bay. It's going to push him further up. It's time for this. He needs to get past flameZ first. And that's not going to happen. His smoke just gave flameZ the perfect position to peek, gets the headshot, and here we go again. It feels like the lifeline simulator for OG, but this one, I feel, is truly it, because the scoreline now at 14-9. Vitality have a couple of hard choices here. They can buy in again. They do have the money to justify decent purchase, or they can play the safe game, right? You know you only need 2 more rounds, right? Let's just take a bit of a half buy here. Let's see how much we can find, see if we can get a plant.
And you saw it in the replay there as well, but like Kyojin making such a big thud on his descent, perfectly baiting Valde into that shoxy flash.
Yeah, so you can see this is just Deagles right here. ZywOo actually investing in nothing, so wanting to make sure he has enough for that AWP. Now, if you're OG and you believe in the comeback story, you want a clean one here. You want mantuu to grab the first. Well, Leg's not bad either. flameZ to help him mop up the mess. So just kind of waterfall out this A ramp. Denied on entry, and it is just Apex going for the cheeky, beaky B plant. All right, guys, you go rush A, and I'll try and plant B. It's a classic, but it's going to give OG their 10th here. So really starting to get a bit of traction.
I mean, Chad, that's their first consecutive pair of rounds.
Yeah, that's what's been crazy in this CT half, right? Because they had a really good start out the gates of this map, but since then it's been spotty. Actually, that's their first consecutive round since the first 4. So, yeah, it hasn't been easy for OG to come by rounds here. Timeout called. Xtaz, the coach, getting to contribute over there on the Frenchman's side. In a bit of a conference with Apex, a discussion, because right now, as far as the money stands, there can be no ZywOo AWP. Right? They can get the AKs out. They can go for Galils if they want a bit more utility and they want to do something execute heavy. Apex confirming that there with his purchase. So it's going to be rocky for Vitality now to start contributing here. They don't have everything they want and more to contest against now a fully bought up OG with 2 AKs in the mix, 1 in the hands of flameZ, who has, again, been bloody brilliant. 23 kills for him. He has the 10-year badge. He's 18 years of age. What do you mean you have the 10-year badge,
How have you done that?
That doesn't work.
Are you on your dad's account?
Yeah, he's older brother, the classic story. We all know how that
we all know how it goes. flameZ wasn't the classic nerdy kid at school.
He was just 8.
And Nico trying to force the issue. He's lost the duel. Masuta laughs at him as he puts a bullet between the eyes and seizes a man advantage. Game time. Grouping up on A, OG, a similar gamble. And they're going for the Palace waterfall. Now this should mean that mantuu's AWP is relevant, very relevant. It's unlikely he'll be able to be completely smoked off.
What are they prioritizing here with the smokes, right? Kyojin and Apex, they can smoke off
jungle and stairs.
Well, that's it. They don't even have a smoke on Kyojin. It's just Apex's smoke. It's just our apps.
Okay, here it comes. The flash from Apex better be brilliant. Alexi mantuu posted up, smokes her up, and that's the end of that. Alexi for 2. Need more from flameZ, but he's kept humble, and sometimes the simplest CS is the best. You see how quickly that falls apart? Destroyed.
It felt like OG had the right setup there to be able to deal with that, and with all the utility that Vitality had, that was the option they went for, and that is the option that's worked. So this is going to be 15 now, as Valde has no other choice here but to save. His teammates will be able to get the cash together to buy in the next round. He's not really going to do too much damage right now to the Vitality economy, all things considered. And Apex is even going to grab the AWP for ZywOo. So in a round where they didn't have everything they needed, they've been able to walk away with everything they need to close things out. So 15-10 the scores read now. And it's hard to see because in a lot of these scenarios, even when OG do get the opening kill, I remember before when Nico pushed up mid, not in this round, but in a previous round, and he did get the opening, it looked shaky.
Yeah.
Right? And unless they're able to pull off a successful aggressive maneuver and get an opening kill, they're always going to be playing from behind here.
Look how punishing that is. As soon as they know where he is, no chance to reposition. All right, well, the gauntlet's been thrown down. You require 5 consecutive defensive rounds on your map pick to pick up that overtime and to really wipe the slate clean. It hasn't been a dreamy start for OG, far from it. Vitality, however, definitely looking well drilled, and there's one in the head-to-head for mantuu. That changes a couple of things for this CT side. They have now just got a little bit more room to maneuver. Alexi's aggressive mid-control. I wonder if he even considers the underpass. Does he look back? And he does. Catching one, looking the other way. shox eliminated. Masuta providing something to close the gap.
I just went and had a quick little look in Pro League so far. Obviously, OG topped their group, right? They beat everybody. They've made it this far in the playoff bracket, meaning they haven't lost a game just yet. And they've only dropped 3 maps on their way to doing so. So this here would be their 4th map loss in Pro League so far.
Yeah, they really have looked brilliant. But Vitality looking very driven here.
Bomb is splitting B.
Yeah, and it's kind of the perfect call. It's going to be the Danes here to set up for a defense, and they're common partners in crime. Valda's done well with the first 2, and just Apex here.
Handles it. Okay, well now, a couple of questions for Vitality going forward here. There's not enough money to buy, and we saw what happened when they were in a similar situation to this. They just took the Deagle upgrade, right? They just attempted to go over towards A. You'd hate to see them lose to a round like this, if you're an OG fan.
Yeah. Losing our own map pick
I thought we were past that.
That's done. Yeah.
I thought we were past that. Okay. And they do get another, like, this is great. To bring it 1 round closer, you've got Vitality right where you want them, right? This should be, I want to make this clear, it should be
nothing.
An OG 12. Like, this is a round, you keep it clean, you get a bit of confidence going, you don't give up too many deaths, you avoid the stress.
You don't re-peek into Deagles when you're low, and everyone's cool. Everyone's cool.
Alexi B is here to save the day. So, dispelling any of that mid-aggression. Nico's not done with fighting. Hello, hello. Yeah, you know, showing the confidence. He's had a couple of iffy sprays, Nico, this game. So, good to see him getting a couple more kills there. But here we go, 15-12. Now, shox doesn't have enough to go for a buy with an AK. Apex has gone for a Galil again. So I guess there's not going to be too many problems over there for the French. They don't have any dramas with the Galil. But what are they looking for to finish here? They have had success when they've just been able to walk onto that A site, right? It doesn't even matter if the stack is there for OG. So maybe they want to test the waters of A even more. Yeah. The mid pressure here, Masuta and shox.
Taking a Mac 10 top mid.
Very quick to connect up.
Yeah, it could catch him off guard. Alexi's just about getting vision back, and shox trying to test him out. He heard the pin pull of that nade. Audio cues exchanged.
Oof. Okay, the AWP right now is positioned for B, so remember that if we go for an A retake, mantuu's going to have to come in through spawn or short with the AWP. Definitely going to be the A split right now. Yeah,
they've got so much territory. They can all just pincer in now, just close slowly that vice grip on the A defense. Nico's got nothing to report as the mid-window fades. Alexi staring at the floor and can't adjust. Masuta opens up. shox is still finding impact with his Mac 10, and flameZ not long. Surely, there's Molotov for him. Hard shot to hit. He commits to the spray, and Vitality 2 frags away from taking the OG's pick against them. Oh, shox has got the round locked in. Valda doesn't know where he's getting shot from. A weapon retrieved. Not quite the frag found, but Valda, the 25 HP 1v3, sounds like a very tall order. Apex was brought down low, but Kyojin full HP to at least trade off him. Oh my God, great taps. Straight through the box, and Kyojin's there to seal the deal. Vitality take OG's pick, 16-12, and the French continue to look flamboyant and convincing. Heading over to Nuke next, it's their turf to look in a grand final spot.